Oh, yeah, that's right. As you folks may know, we're running to the end of the earnings cycle. I hope you're pretty excited about that, okay? Because we got a little bit of time to wait before we get into the hot earnings one more. So this is probably the last earnings video we do for at least a month, obviously, until we get into the, um, main earnings season. And I'm gonna be excited for it. We're in a bull market right now by definition. So hey, I hope you're excited. So these earnings could be pretty relevant, right? We've seen a very good run up in stocks as of late, really over the last week or two, actually. So some of these earnings could be very relevant, right? Now, not too many that I have my eyes on all that much. I do have two that I'm mostly focused on. But yeah, I feel like we can make this one nice and short and sweet for you. And hey, hope you have a great time. Now, Monday, obviously, very light day, very light week, in fact. Um, you're going to be looking at first before open being eCarX, okay? Um, as far as the company itself, I know they are based in China. I know that they do some sort of mobility technology for electric vehicles. I don't know what exactly that's referring to. Um, so I don't know what to expect, obviously, on that one. It's just one that I just don't know. I feel like most companies just use their own proprietary technology, but maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm missing something out. I know Tesla does, but who knows? And Tesla's going to the freaking moon, so what am I supposed to say? Um, After close, though, we do have Oracle, and that's one I wanted to focus on for a couple of reasons. Well, we look at it, and this is a stock that is up massively year to date, right? We're talking about a 31% gain year to date, while the Nasdaq's still struggling on the year, right? It is right at its 52-week high right now. I mean, we are right near that. Um, within 1% of the 52-week high is nutty. It's nutty. Let's just be honest. While the 52-week low is, near half the price that it's at right now. Now, to be fair, um, we look a little further out and still massively up, right? Look over the 5 years, not necessarily as up as you might expect, right? Um, you could expect a little, but look at this little bull run here. I mean, this is from their 52-week low. We're talking about an 80% gain in the span of really, I guess, 8 months, 9 months. Pretty crazy to see that, in my opinion. So, how do they keep that upward trend? Well, for one, I think it's going to be kind of tough. Um, as with many of these stocks, I mean, you see, and you can see historically when a pattern like this did happen, it did then have a downtrend. Now, again, 2021 was a rough year for every company out here, right? So, this big upward movement, I don't know if they can sustain it. And could the earnings right here be a start of it? Well, first we look at what's expected, right? It's important to look at that. They are expected to raise the EPS line just a little bit here, $1.58 versus $1.54. We'll take that. Nothing crazy there. Year over year to grow is fantastic, even though it's not a massive amount. That's plenty fine. Um, the revenue expected to grow 16%, though, and 17% on the full year basis because this is Q4, folks, so this is pretty important. This is how they end the year. Now, again, I look at these numbers, and if I'm being honest here, I don't know how much these numbers actually impact the stock. I just got to be honest. This right now, I feel is a market that is very heavily driven not only by economic data, but also by the news. Okay, we look at the alpha. I mean, we look at the news. This is what's really impacting companies right now, is freaking news. Um, and what do I mean by that? Well, really, it's when the CEO of a company, of a particular company, says two letters, AI. When they talk about Allen Iverson, it has always worked well for them. No, I'm just kidding. Speaking of Allen Iverson, man, let me tell you, uh, Nikola Jokic. Let me tell you, you got to start treating that guy like Allen Iverson. Okay, that's my tip here. If the Heat want to win anything, now I got bad news for them. They're not going to be winning, but You gotta just lock down everyone else, let Jokic beat you by himself, and see what happens. It's your only shot. Give him the AI treatment. Anyways, we talk about artificial intelligence, and what do I say that for? Well, because that's important. Okay, this is a surefire way as a CEO to get people into your stock and run up that stock price, right? And Oracle, you know what? They could be a great beneficiary of it. And you've seen how the stock has reacted already, which is fantastic, right? It's great to see. Um, yeah, I mean, no, I don't know. It's just a software company. You bring AI into the mix, you're going to do great things. Okay, that's Oracle. Hope you're excited there. Tuesday, not really excited about any of these here. MPA, Interest. Somehow I'm talking, and then the second I start talking, the nose is literally full. So I probably sound a little strange. I mean, I couldn't breathe out of my nose if I tried right now. I'd probably die from the inhalation of so much mucus. Delicious, I know. Delicious, I know. I know you wanted to hear it. I need to. That little Mucinex monster guy is in my nose. I need to get rid of him with something. Start spray something up in there. Iterus after close, and then Mama Mancias. Okay, I don't know what the heck that was, but that's all right. Wednesday before open, we've got Aurora. You already know. Do you want to buy an eighth from them? I don't know. It depends on what you want to do. Let's just be a little calm here. Look, these stocks are hot trash. Come on now. What do you want to say? All of these companies in this Mary Jane industry, um, they're trash stocks. They're all still 90+% down from their highs. I mean, this is not the turnaround, right? This quarter is not the turnaround that's going to get these stocks on an upward trend. It's going to be 100% news based. That's the only thing that'll happen. And when one moves, they're all going to move back upward again. Let's just be real with each other. And I've said this for a long time, right? That you're not going to be able to pick out one particular company that's going to succeed over the others here in this type of industry. It's just the way that it is. It's not set up for that type of price movement of the stock right now. Now that could change obviously, but here it's not changing. Okay, you know what I did? I didn't inhale, and I feel like I almost died. I feel like I almost passed away, but I can speak at least for a little bit. Um, Anterix after them. You know what? Screw them. I don't know why I said that. I just said that. Lennar after close. So we've got High Tide. Whoo. Um, Ammo and then RF Industries. Not too excited Wednesday. Let's just be honest. I'm kind of bored on Wednesday. Thursday gets me a little more excited. We start with Kroger. And why do I get excited about Kroger? What the heck's wrong with my little screen region? Get over here. Oh, I've effed it, didn't I? I effed it. Um, uh, anyways, why do I love me some Kroger? Well, first off, this is a cheap, cheap company right now. We're talking about a company, market cap 33 billion, puts them at a PE ratio of 15, right? We're talking about a PE ratio of 15. Now, dividend yield over 2% right now. In between its 52-week high and its 52-week low. Obviously, not a whole lot of volatility in this one historically. Now, you did see a pretty big dip here back in May. I mean, we're talking about a week span, moving down 9%. Now, the reason I like these earnings is because I think there's a definite possibility we touch those 52-week highs again after earnings. Now, maybe not all the way there. I'm all the way up. Do 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 do. Now again, I don't know if it will, but we'll see what happens. I am excited because we look at the expectations. Expected to, stay flat on an EPS line, decline 1%. I think they beat here. I think this is the big line to look at for them. This is one I don't think is entirely news driven. I think we'll be looking at, in fact, the data for once. We're actually going to be looking at the numbers, right? $1.44 expected. Inflation's going to hit heavy, right? The grocers are getting hit heavy, especially the ones that are a little bit lesser in terms of their margin. Kroger's one of those cheaper groceries, so we'll see how they perform in a market like this, right? Revenue expected to increase 1.3%. Now, we have seen some of those other retailers missing quite significantly on this line. And again, I think most of that with the other ones kind of had to do with the fact that there was a lot of built-in expectations around e-commerce. Now, Kroger really doesn't have that kind of stigma around it that it's meant for e-commerce. It really doesn't. So I'm not too worried about that. People look at Kroger and they look at just a consistent stock. It's a boring company, just a grocery retailer, right? Like it's just a grocer. I mean, what else do you want from them? I think if they keep these numbers consistent, slightly beat, the stock could do some great things because it's on a pretty big downtrend right now. So I think they could easily reverse that with a nice earnings here. So I'll be on the lookout for Kroger. Jabil, I knew a guy named Jabil in high school. Jabril Peppers, no, I didn't actually. Cognite, Wiley. Now I did know a Wiley. I did. Let me center this so it's not destroying your eyeballs. You see how quick that was? I'm just telling you, kind of an impressive move by me there. He actually has done it. And then we wrap up with Adobe. Look, I look at Adobe, another software company, and I say this is the prime market for takeoff, baby. For these type of companies, it's prime market. I'll be looking at Adobe, see what they do. You know what? I didn't actually pull them up because I was curious on this one. Let's just take a look here. What a shocker at its 52-week high. I mean, I didn't even need to look at it to know that, but again, I wanted to take a look, right? So they recovered quite significantly here. Just in the month of May, we're talking a 35% upward movement. Does that remind you of anyone in particular? Yeah, that's right. It happened just not too long ago. Now the fear is, look, at the end of the year last year in September, this thing was down at 281, right? It did a 52-week low back here, 274, I should say. I mean, that was wild. This is ripe for a, really a downward movement. It's ripe for it. Now, will it do it? I don't know. This market is nutty right now. So who knows what's going to happen? But if there was one that definitely had the potential of a downward movement, and a decent one, I mean, we're talking the potential of a 10% downward movement, it's going to be Adobe. I'm just going to be honest here with you. So we'll see what the numbers present. I'll keep my eyes out, but I think this one could be painful after earnings if they don't hit those numbers, right? That's what I got for you. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, folks.